Welcome back. At the end of the previous part, we found out there'd been a train derailment, so let's go see what the hell is going on over here at the train derailment site. Not exactly the appropriate music for this, is it? Be people dead? A replacement bus service. A very familiar sight in the UK. Leaves on the line usually here. Not train derailments. We try to avoid them, that's why we have the replacement bus service. Those buses just now look like the ones that usually travel between Tangram and Altair. To be transporting the passengers that were on the train. Damn, that ain't good. I'm concerned about the scale of the accident. What's caused it, though? No texture on the side of those blocks there. Yo, Lloyd. You guys made it. So you were brought in as well, France. Thank you for coming too, Noelle and Randy. Of course, good to see you, Dahlia. Looks like we came to the right place. What's the situation? Commander Balls and the police are currently investigating the scene of the accident. The 2nd Division's Inspector Donovan and Detective Raymond are leading our department's efforts. What I could tell, it looked like a mess, a complete derailment. Oh, it can take a long time to get things cleaned and repaired. And what of the passengers? No casualties, thank the goddess, but a few were in critical condition. Ambulances carried away the most in need of medical attention a little while ago. Yeah, we saw them on our way here. And those other passengers were bussed away. Yeah, they only had one round of buses arranged for passengers headed from Crossbell City, and another for those going to Altair. It was chaos sorting it all out. I can imagine. Not every day you have to manage an accident this severe. We should make our way to the scene as well. Are we good to pass through? Yeah, I think you should be good to go. Can't imagine anyone will complain. Head in when you're ready. It's like, geez, is there enough time to make any detours? Let's head to the site of the accident. Just wondering if we could, potentially see it from another angle, but whatever hit the train caused it to derail completely. Should be counting our blessings there were no casualties, but still take time for repairs to be made. If you're here to investigate too, then I hope you'll be thorough. You might catch something the others missed. The site of the train accident is past here. Commander Balls and representatives from the police department have already begun their investigation. We're also permitted to enter. Whatever hit the train caused it to derail completely. If you're here to investigate too, then I hope you'll be thorough. You might catch something the others missed. Yep, different points of views. Okay. Where are we meant to be going? There's our chest. Let's get a good overview from here. May as well. Hope the reporter that just went in doesn't interfere with the repair effort. You seem cooperative at least, so it should be fine. Gotta be great. Hard to ignore an accident like this happening during the highest international tensions we've had in years. Makes me wonder if it isn't a coincidence. It's clearly not a coincidence. 2nd Division's investigators are currently looking into the cause of the accident. Fortunately, it's going to take some time. Still haven't pinpointed any of the specifics. It's rare we get the opportunity to collaborate with the Guardian Force on an incident like this. The scene of the accident is in rough shape too. As reps of the CPD, we need to do everything we can to help the CGF. Commander Balls is overseeing the repair efforts. Make sure to report in to her if you plan to join the investigation. Okay. Oh no. Jeez. Oh god. Surprised no one died. It looks like it's scraped along the side, doesn't it? This is some accident we got on our hands. Do you know what caused the derailment yet? No, as you can see, the investigation is currently underway. The current working theory is that the first car was derailed due to a fallen rock on the track. My apologies, but I'm going to have to ask that the media refrain from entering the accident site. We need to focus on beginning the repair effort immediately. Come on, really? Commander, shouldn't we? I understand that the police would like to prioritize the investigation. However, this is the Transcontinental Railroad we're standing on. It is the most important traffic route in all of Zemuria. We're under pressure from Mayor Croy, the Imperial and Republican governments, and the Railroad Corporation to fix this ASAP. The CGF has no choice but to comply. Get the logic, Mum. I really do, but I'm with the detective. If you don't get to the bottom of what happened here, it could happen again, right? I am aware. However, I can only permit that the investigation be carried out alongside the repairs, which will be until this evening at the very latest. That is how long we've been given. So, before the heavy machinery for moving the cars arrives, we need to—
Hold it!
Hold on just a moment. Lloyd Banning, Special Support Section. The SSS? Oh, hey, Lloyd and gang. Ah, so you guys game to scope out the scene too, huh? Please excuse us, Commander. Did we hear you correctly? You're going to reopen the railway before the investigation can conclude. You're still a member of the CGF, Seeker. You haven't forgotten the importance of the railroad to Crossbell, correct? I didn't want to put this so bluntly, but if we delay repairing the railroad, the Empire and the Republic could interpret it as us interfering with their economies. I know that, but she's right that we need to take that into consideration. If they laid that at our feet, there's not much Crossbell could do to refute it. Give me a break. I still have a duty to get to the bottom of this mess. Commander Balls. Give us just 30 minutes. No, give us until that equipment arrives. Are you suggesting? Yes. Given Crossbell's current political climate, I'm not ready to chalk this accident up to being an unfortunate coincidence. Shall we determine whether this was something that was bound to happen or an act of foul play? It is also possible that this accident is related to our investigation of the cryptids. Wouldn't you rather let us do our thing for peace of mind, if nothing else? There's no harm. I never thought I'd see the day that I would be the impatient one between the two of us, Orlando. Inspector Donovan, I suggest we prioritize the investigation of the accident scene first. My men will focus on the repair efforts once our equipment arrives, while the CPD continues investigating. It'll take as long as you need. You won't hear any complaints from us. Let's do this. And we'll just stay out of your way while we collect our data. I have no objections. You may wander freely up until the formal repairs begin. On the condition that you in no way interfere with the site investigation. Am I clear? Crystal. Would you mind if we joined in the investigation too, Inspector? Don't even have to ask. We'll tackle it together. You should speak with the conductor. He's resting over there. The engineer got nicked up in the accident and was taken to the hospital, unfortunately. The conductor's still your best bet here. Understood. Let's get this investigation underway. Yes. These are the bits I like about like the Crossbell games, like the investigating. It's like yes, because it's like you guys know me at this point. I like putting pieces together, so it's like this is why I'm liking the Crossbell games and Lloyd as a character. It's like this trying to put pieces together and try and figure things out. Because to me, it's sort of, it looks like it got impacted from the side here, and as it got impacted from the side, it scraped along the cliffside over here. So it's very much like, what hit it from the side? Was it a rock? If it was a rock, the rock would be here. It's what I find funny during this is I'm doing all these hand gestures being like, look at this, look at that, then this here, then that there, and it's like, oh, I really should go on camera in future. It would help, wouldn't it? It would help. Just wondering if there's anything else. Ooh, camera turn. This scrape, well, we've got exclamation marks. The scraping is very... Why is there none there? Like, because you can see it's like, because this is further back, it's not been hit by the train. Okay, let's start here then. Look at the marks on the rock wall. They're enormous. It's like the whole surface has been carved out. There are gouge marks on the ground too. The train must have derailed to the left side. Take a closer look at the wall. Those blue streaks. I believe that would be paint. Right. It's the paint from the train cars themselves. After the train derailed, it must have smacked against the rock wall and left those blue skid marks. No doubt, but would that be enough for it to drag for so long and leave these kinds of marks? You may need to rethink what caused the marks to this degree. Like, to me, there's enough. Again, as long as it was pushed against the wall. That's the significant thing. If it derailed, I don't think there would be this much. Like, if it was just a simple say that was a leaf on the line, and it came off the rail and just hit the side, I don't think there'd be enough to, like, cause this. So it feels like it was... the whole thing almost like was forced off. Like a blast pushed it off the rail. It's crazy to think the train completely derailed off both sides of the track. I can only imagine how terrifying the experience must have been for the passengers. The derailment really did a number on the tracks. They're all torn up. Judging by the damage, I'd say the derailment started right around here. Yeah, because the fact it's not gone far, it's like... It's that fact it's like, it's not... Like, the train tracks over here, or the rails over here, are relatively fine. So it implies it was pushed with force against the wall and didn't travel that far. Like, it stopped very quickly. You're gonna have a lot of people with whiplash, I imagine, and stuff like that. Can I get on? That would have been cool. When the call came in about the accident, I couldn't have imagined it would be something on this scale. I think it's going to take a considerable amount of resources to fully repair the railway tracks. Hey Mariah, how's the repair work going? I'd say it's proceeding just as well as the investigation is. But until the heavy machinery arrives, we're not going to be able to move the train itself. For now, all we can do is clear the debris. Figured that was the case. Could lend a hand if you need it. No, you don't have to do that. You should focus on your investigation. We'll inform you if we discover anything that could aid with it. Thank you very much, Mariah. There's so much glass and debris to clean up. We can't risk even one pebble staying on the railway. So we've got to be thorough and clean all of this up. Because here, it's like, if it was hit from the, like, like, which side are the windows blown out, sort of thing? Like, there's no glass on this side. At all. But there is on this side. Which is, if it was pushed at force, it would shatter the windows, and the glass would fly this way, because of the force and the dynamics of everything. Basically, the glass would be here. It's not like an exit wound, is the best way of putting it. It's like, it's like the glass remained behind and was ripped away from the train. If it was that powerful. That's the thing. It's like, again, it doesn't look like it's traveled far. It looks like it was hit with a tremendous force that made it stop and derail, which explains why the glass is on this side. Can we investigate the glass at all? I want to see if there's anything in regards to that. Might be dangerous to get too close. It's holding its balance for now, but it could still fall over to its side. And to be thorough, we investigated inside the train cars. Sadly, it didn't turn up anything, no clues to be had there. See, I want to look at the glass situation and, like, see if we can actually investigate that and see if my logic is right. Like, my logic, to me, makes sense there. Sort of. It depends. Because say if it was like a pressure wave that hit the side of the car that pushed it, then the glass should be inside the cars or on the other side. But if it was a simple force that pushed it off, but not like a sonic boom or something like that that pushed it, the tension would push the glass the glass the other way, which would then mean the glass is here. So to me right now, it implies it got hit with something as opposed to blasted, if that makes any sense. Sadly, it didn't turn up anything, no clues to be had there. You sure? Not one thing suspicious on a train that large? Not really. All that's there now is the passenger's luggage, and nothing seemed off about any of it. Besides, all the signs pointed to the derailment being caused by some external force. Yeah, I guess so. We checked inside the train cars, but wasn't anything relevant to the derailment here. But to my mind, the derailment was caused purely outside of the train. Yeah. Get a good look at it. This is one hell of an accident. In Heyue's, there were any casualties. I believe most passengers that were not taken to the hospital were transferred by bus to the Republic. Fortunately, that means we can't take any of their statements now. True, we've got to work with what you got. On that note, have you spoken with the conductor? He's resting over there. Spoke to him earlier, but he's way too shaky to remember anything. Maybe he's calmed down now? Make sure to hear what he has to say. The problem is, like, in these circumstances, like, witness reports are not as good as you would expect because they've just been through a massive trauma, so it's sort of like, it's a tricky one. What else we got? What's the word, Lloyd? Figure anything out yet? No, nothing yet. What about you, Grace? Do you have anything that could help our investigation? Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I know these kind of accidents can and do happen sometimes. Still, there's something really off about all this. The timing and place are about as bad as could be. I know what you mean. Not only is an accident this severe rare, but it happened while Crossbell is in the flux over the independence proposals, causing into question whether this was an unfortunate coincidence or something else. I've got my suspicions, but they're just that. I'm trying to fill your head with anything. Anyway, good luck with your investigation, and if you find anything interesting that you can share, you'd better let me know. We'll do what we can. Train derailments aren't unheard of, but the timing and place of this one is about as unfortunate as it gets. Anyway, good luck with your investigation, SSS. Let me know if you find out something interesting. I'm loving this, by the way. Again, I keep wanting to point out, like, this is a damn good game. This is a damn good, like, just simple things like this. This is what I love about this series. Like, this is so fun. Working in journalism hadn't prepared me for seeing an accident scene this shocking. As a journalist, I have a duty to help uncover the truth of what happened. It means taking good photos. A picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say. Just one of these photos could contain important evidence. It's true. Indeed, yeah, you take all the pictures you can, mate. You take all the pictures. It's very much like people really get on at people who, like, at the scene of, like, a crime or something like that, or a major incident, there's people taking pictures and, like, recording the event, and it's like, how dare you do that? It's like, no, do that. Please, dear God, if you're in the middle of an accident that's happening around you, or you're part of it, and there's this key point here, and you can't do anything to be, like, helping someone, like, you literally can't do anything other than record. Please record the events that are happening. They can be used by like investigators essentially to figure out what happened that could be beneficial to finding out, like, who caused the accident, what caused the accident, stop it from happening again. It's like all these types of things. It is so important you record the events as quickly as possible. Again, key thing here, assuming you can't do anything to help. Like, if you can do something to be helping the situation, like, say, maybe someone's buried under some rubble, something like that, try and get the rubble off them. Don't record them being under the rubble. But if you can't do anything, record things. Because you could have, like, the minusculest little thing, maybe an important detail to an investigation, and you may have caught it, and it may be important. If you're doing it for clout, however, you're a prick. That's a different thing. How much longer until the heavy machinery we need to move the train cars arrives? In the next 30 minutes, Mom. What of the investigation? They may still take even longer, correct? The railroad track's on. Clear to operate on by this evening. You can only imagine the problems it would cause. Let me worry about that, Guardsman. The recovery effort will take as long as necessary, and that includes the accompanying investigation. Do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am. Never changes. Well, she is Commander Balls. We should be grateful that she's willing to give us as long as it takes for a complete investigation. Let's make it up to her by getting to the bottom of this accident. Until the heavy machinery arrives, the CGF will be assisting with the investigation of the accident scene. Guardsmen have been instructed not to hinder your investigation, so conduct it as you see fit. I understand the investigation is needed, but it's a shame that the train schedule could be delayed. Nothing that can be done, I suppose. Just have to work hard on the cleanup and be patient. We have heavy machinery to help us move the train cars scheduled to arrive in the next 30 minutes. Until then, we'll have to clean up and repair what we can. Okay. So, let's see here, is there... yeah. This would be the locomotive. It is the most important car of them all, because it allows the orbital train to move. Inside is the engineer's cab, and the orbital engine that was produced by the Rhinefoot Company. That aside, doesn't something about this seem off to you? I was just thinking the same thing. It's not nearly as much damage to the front as I would thought. You're right, it's a little unnatural compared to the rest of the car. Think about it. If it collided with something head-on, it wouldn't still be this pristine. Whoever caused the derailment must have hit somewhere else. Which is clearly this big dent here. Which has claw marks. Alright. Look at the damage. Maybe a fallen rock from the nearby cliffside caused this dent. Could this be where it collided with the train? It's got claw marks. It is possible, given the spherical dent on the side. Don't know about that. Would the rock cause those scratch marks in the middle of the dent too? When you think about it, isn't the position rather far up too? Don't think a simple fallen rock would have left such a mark. If that's the case, then just what did collide with the train? I've got my suspicions at this point, obviously because of those marks. What a day. I should be thanking the goddess I'm okay and wasn't carried away in one of those ambulances. Never seen a train derail so violently before. You're the conductor, correct? If you wouldn't mind, could you give us your account of what happened at the time of the accident? Sure thing. If that's what you want, I'll do my best to tell you how it happened. The detective over there asked me earlier, but I think I was still too shaken to give a good statement. Anyway, it all happened so suddenly from what I can remember. I was bewildered after the fact. That's understandable. After such a severe accident, I don't expect you to remember every little detail. Any normal person would be in shock after going through something like that. Exactly. It's okay if you don't remember everything. Even a few small details could be helpful. Like if you saw or sensed anything suspicious before or after the accident. Suspicious? Well, now that you mention it, yeah, maybe. Remember something? Just before the derailment happened, I was on the comms with the engineer. Something made him yell. I remember him saying, "What is that?" The accident happened right after. One car derailed and then so did the others, one after another. The rest you already know. Now I'm out here talking to you. You're sure he yelled, "What is that?" From the sound of it, he must have seen something shocking. What exactly? What the engineer saw is now our greatest question. Because if it was a rock, you wouldn't shout, "What is that?" Because you'd know it was a rock. Okay, I think we've gathered as much intel here as we can. We have? Enough for Lloyd, anyway. It better be enough for him, because I sure as hell haven't connected any dots. I may have noticed a thing or two. What's our next move? Should we review the information we have thus far? Yeah, let's do that. We should call over the commander and Inspector Donovan, too. So, has your investigation yielded anything insightful? Well, I hope so. I also want to address the possibility of the derailment being caused by a fallen rock that was on the tracks. From our investigation, I believe it's safe to rule out that possibility. Really? Why? Take it you can back that up, right? What's your reasoning? Naturally. It's like, less damage at the front of the locomotive, yeah. Investigated a lot of other things that were suspicious, but the decisive factor was how pristine the front of the locomotive was. Could you explain further? I agree there's less damage at the front, but what does that prove? Logically, if the derailment were caused by a fallen rock landing on the tracks, the train would have first collided with it head-on. For the mass of a high-speed train to lose balance and derail, the impact would have to be severe. If that's what happened, then the evidence of it would be apparent. Yeah, there'd be a giant rock, or several pieces of a giant rock. Oh, I think I get it. But the front of the first car is hardly dinged up at all. That rules out the first and most obvious explanation. Indeed it does. This is information we cannot overlook. In that case, what do you suspect caused the derailment? First I had to consider whether this was possibly the work of some kind of explosive. There's no powder burns or anything of that nature around, like... No. What? I mean, it could have been Jaegers or a terrorist group? There's no signs of anything like burn marks, there's nothing. Can't deny that my mind wandered there pretty quickly too. Kept my eyes peeled but didn't see any traces of explosives. I would hope not. We accounted for that and didn't find anything of that nature. Agreed, going down the list of possible explanations, something occurred to me. The train may have collided with something, but not head-on. It's possible it was rammed on the right-hand side. Excuse me? Rammed? Are you out of your mind? This is starting to sound less like a train derailment and more like a car chase. Now I get it. That would explain the dent on the right side of the locomotive. Yeah, that's exactly what I think happened. Whatever it was, hit the right-hand side of a full-speed train. The moment it all happened, that's why the engineer yelled while on the comms with the conductor. Our unknown entity ran alongside the train and rammed it from the right, causing the dent. The force led to the leading locomotive to derail to the left-hand side. Then whatever caused this pushed the locomotive to the far rock wall. Yeah, and that's when, like, the force of hitting it pushed the glass the other way, all that type of stuff. It skidded there until finally coming to a stop, leaving marks on the rocks along the way. Finally, the cars that were following also derailed and scattered along the way. Given what we know right now, that's my working hypothesis. Huh. Well done. You really are Guy's little brother, you know? Now your reasoning may be better than his. No kidding, Guy's style of investigating was less thorough and more instinctive. Hey, watch it, he's ours. And we're proud to have him. Jeez, calm down, leader. Even I couldn't think that far ahead. Very impressive. That leaves one question, Lloyd. The what? Do you suspect this to be the work of a larger monster? Was this perhaps caused by another of the recently spotted cryptids? Well, when I think about it, it's like, I've got other ideas because I know of what's going on in terms of the greater story. Like, we saw someone take a bit of a transformation. There's no question that a cryptid would have the strength to derail a train based on our experience. Yeah, but there's no signs of higher elements or anything around here, so I doubt they'd be anywhere near here, and Tio would have mentioned that. I can understand why that would be the most likely explanation, but I can't say for certain yet. I agree. If this were caused by a cryptid, then the higher elements would likely still be present. Not to mention we didn't see those blue flowers anywhere nearby either. Yes, I'd agree with everything you've said. However, this just further raises the question of what we're dealing with. No. Another possibility is one of the society's archaisms. I'm not sure of that either. They resort to such a drastic and forward attack? No, they wouldn't. What was that? Some kind of monster. It wasn't an ordinary one, it was ominous. Activating sensors.
行きます。
Mickey Mouse? Did you hear that? Brains, get the photo quartz ready. We're getting a shot one way or another. You can't be serious, Grace. Distance 10 Selge and moving. It is escaping to the west. Tch. Let's chase after it. Was just thinking the same. Roger that. What? Are you out of your minds? If you're going, the CGF will back you up. No, I think we should stick to the plan. Keep working on the repairs. We'll go and give chase. You're right. That's for the best. Not entirely comfortable with it, but given the machinery will be arriving soon, we've no other choice. Stay in contact. If something happens, we can come assist you. Understood, Mom. Triple dot. I think I know why you're triple dotting. Grace. Not about to say that you're coming along too, are you? Well, I can't deny that I was considering it. But I get it, this situation seems stickier than usual, so I'll hand back this time. They'll be drafting and releasing a bulletin once we get back to Crossbell City. I'll get back to gathering reports and collecting data from it. That should be safe to do. Besides, if you guys followed us and got attacked, you might never get a chance to make that report. Don't I know it? Not sure what you all are chasing, but if it's related to the derailment, it's gonna be a nasty one. Better be careful and come back in one piece for me to interview later. We will. Thanks. That box is back. Alright, let's start our pursuit. First we need to head west on the highway. Yeah. Let's go back as a monster. And let's actually end this part here, and then the next part we'll speak to any people around here. Seems to just be you, really. If it's just you. This is the West Crossbell Highway Unit confirming that we heard the roar of an unidentified monster moments ago. Per orders of Commander Balls, to prioritize the railway's repair for now. Need the heavy equipment delivered ASAP. Repeat, deliver the heavy lifting equipment ASAP. Right, so now we're done in this part, and the next part we'll chase after this monster, which is clearly walled. Ta-da for now!